Hello there, this reading is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to look at the week for February 28th through March 5th. I do have personal readings open now in my description box below. You have a link to my website. Let's go ahead and look at what energy you're bringing in, and let's see what energy whatever person needs to come through for you that you need to hear about. We'll see what's going on with that. Okay, so show me Aquarius. Aquarius. All right, feel good about that one. Okay, I have the Moon, Strength, the King of Swords, Judgment. That is a lot of major arcana, and the Wheel of Fortune. A lot. For the person that's coming through, the Three of Swords, the Eight of Cups. Wow. The Ace of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Fool. And then we'll look at the energy between the two of you in just a second. Okay, so for you, I see you battling through some fear. And this doesn't have to be a bad thing, because I do see the cards around it are positive. They're good things. But the moon is about the things that we don't see clearly by the light of the moon. You know, things are not illuminated like they are in the daytime. So I think that there are some fears that are coming up, rising to the surface. Maybe you have been deceiving yourself somewhat. I get that feeling of self-deception, you know, and that can really be when we get kind of caught in either the positive, the illusion, the fantasy of something, and we tell ourselves to ignore the red flags, or we are seeing everything is going to shit when it's not really, you know, it's an anxiety thing. So those fears, but I do feel like you are pushing through them because the Strength card is next to it. So it's showing that you are stronger than those fears and you're going to be dealing with them, but you're going to deal with them in a healthy way. So I'm not worried about it. I also have the King of Swords and Judgment. You are deliberating. You are thinking about weighing your options, examining another person, thinking very much about what happened between the two of you and if you want to deal with them anymore in the future. So the Judgment card is about things that come back up into our life in a cyclical fashion. Okay, so it's Pluto energy, which is all about regeneration. It's about things that were dead and gone and done, and they're coming back. But this also has the feeling of to me of you really casting judgment upon it. And we look at the word judgment as a really nasty thing in this culture, but it's not always. It's being discerning. It's making a decision. So the King of Swords is you. This is an air sign, being very decisive and making some decisions about the past and whether or not that past should be part of your future. So then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Things going quite well for you. Actually, this is telling me that there is some big change that is coming, that is fated, that is the universe kind of stepping in and giving you a little boost. So things are starting to be set into motion right now that are going to go well for you. So let's look at what the person who's coming through here in your reading is giving us. We have the Three of Swords and the Eight of Cups. So right here, we've got a pretty sad picture. The Three of Swords, that heartache, that pain, that just somebody who's really been wounded. So this individual has got a lot of hurt inside them, a lot of heartache, and just, you know, how do I heal myself after this? And so with the Eight of Cups, I think that they did the only thing that they felt like they could do, or they may be in the process of thinking about doing this, and that's walking away from something. So I feel that there's a person, because of their pain, is stepping away, and because it is coming out in your reading, I feel like this has to do with you. So somebody that pulled back from you. Now, I think this is the past, and I'm going to tell you why. I've got a couple indications. The first is that the Judgment card is coming up for you. That's telling me that something from the past is coming back. All right, the next thing is that despite the fact that they did this walk away thing, I have the Fool on their side, which is about new beginnings. I also have the Ace of Wands, which is about a new beginning. Okay, it's you know, when you like seize the day, you're like, I'm going for this. I'm going to take a leap of faith. So your person that is coming through in this reading is trying to come back into your life, or may have just recently come back into your life. And they want there to be a clean slate. They want a completely new beginning. They don't want any of the past to affect the future with you. But it's not an easy thing for them, because remember, they have a lot of heartache here. And they had to leave this behind, even though they still were really connected to it. They still really had a lot of feelings and emotion around it. So this is requiring them to take that leap of faith, to do something that doesn't necessarily feel comfortable, but they think that, I don't know, maybe the timing is right. We'll see when we go ahead and pull cards for what's going on energetically between the two of you. I also have the Five of Wands here. So there's some tension in this new beginning. There's a struggle. I think they may either be feeling like they have to compete with other people or another person in your life. But there feels like there's some tension here, okay? And I do get this picture of having the ace. You know, there's one wand here, and there's 5 here. So I do get this image of them going, see me, I want to win. I want to be the winner. I want to be noticed by you and acknowledged by you, and I'm willing to put in a little bit of a fight. I'm willing to put up a little bit of a fight to get back in your good graces. So let's go ahead and see what energy is between the two of you. Ace of Coins, okay, the King of Coins, and the 9 of Wands. Well, the Ace of Coins is definitely about something new here. We've got the King of Coins. There's some financial things between the two of you, and I don't know if that has to do with the fact that you have some finances wrapped up together, or if this feels like a work thing. This feels like some type of scheduling conflict here. I also have the 9 of Wands. So both of you being wary here. Both of you holding back from what you may want or what you may know is best. They really want this. I see more reservation on your side, to be quite frank with you. I don't see it as being like a no, but I see it as being like a let me think about it. You're not rushing into it. And I think that's shown here by the Knight of Coins. Nobody's rushing into this. This is a slow moving energy. And the 9 of Wands is telling me that that's the case because you two have been through some shit together. You two have some history, some things that were very painful for both of you. And it's not really clear right now to either one of you if this is something that is good for you or is healthy for you. But there is a lot of energy between the two of you. There's a lot of connection, a lot of inherent, like, you know, affinity for one another. There's something happening here that's really interesting. So let's go ahead and look at what your strengths and your weaknesses, or challenges rather, are this week. Okay. Wait till you hear this. Some combinations. All right. So we have the Star, the 2 of Cups, and the 7 of Cups. The Star is healing. Okay. The Star is looking to the future. It's restoring something. It's being hopeful about the future. And what are we hopeful about specifically in the future? Oh, I don't know. Just love. No big deal. Just this connection with somebody, this like thing that feels so big, yet it feels buried to me. It's like a time bomb waiting to go off. And then, or a love bomb. And then the 7 of Cups, choices. What choice are we going to make here? So this is the challenge, is being very hopeful about love and connection and what this could be, but also saying, I don't know what choice to make. I don't know what's the right thing to do here. The options, okay? the options. And is the fantasy going to meet the reality, or is, how's this going to go? It's like, I don't know. I don't know how to take this leap of faith here because I'm so afraid about how it's going to go. And then I have the Ace of Swords, the Five of Wands is coming up again, and the Nine of Swords. All right, there is going to be a clarity that comes out, a truth, all right? There is going to be something that's said that causes somebody in this connection to be really stressed out, causes them to ruminate over it quite a bit with the Nine of Swords there. So the Ace of Swords being the truth, right? And the truth is always something that does bring clarity, but sometimes the clarity is a difficult one. And so what's coming out is difficult, and it does present its own challenges. And I think that it's not a tower moment. It's not everything being ripped out from under you or from under them, okay? It's a moment of tension, of struggle, of how are we going to go, what are we going to do with this, really? How are we going to handle this? Because the Nine of Wands is telling me that originally somebody is handling it all in their head, and they're just thinking about it a whole lot and letting it stress them out. And then the Five of Wands is telling me that, yeah, I think it's actually going to come out. All right. And there may even be a little bickering. There could be a little bit of a, words spoken that are not the most loving words. So there's some difficulties there. So let's go ahead and pull some advice for you from the Moonology deck. And then I'll pull a song card for you guys. So the song cards are like my clairaudient kind of self coming through, where I relate to songs. I find answers to songs. It's a very personal little deck that I made because there's songs that are significant to me. So I hope you enjoy that. But let's look at your Moonology card first. Moonology. Okay. All right, don't let pride get in your way. I think this is actually a really good piece of advice right here. This is the Full Moon in Leo card, so don't let pride get in your way when it comes to this person, this connection. And pride is a lot of times not just saying you have an ego problem. A lot of times it's when somebody is not willing to forgive or they want to punish somebody. Okay, I actually want to clarify this. That's why I got my tarot deck back out again, because usually I close out at that point, but I want to pull a couple cards on this. I just feel like there's something left unsaid. Okay, so I have the Eight of Wands, the World, and the Knight of Cups. This is saying that there is a communication coming, okay? Pretty strong communication that is going to bring closure to something in a good way. It's going to bring some completion to something, a feeling of, okay, it's actually a relief. It's like a successful kind of everything is coming full circle, and it's coming full circle when it has to do with somebody else offering affection and romance and love. So I do think that you need to be very open-minded right now. This calls for being open-minded. It calls for really examining yourself. And a lot of times we want to put everything on another person. So that's natural. Everybody does that. So being cognizant of that fact, right? So let's go ahead and pull a song card. Okay. This one is kind of cheesy, and I'm going to tell you, it is a little cheesy. And it's not necessarily one of my favorite songs, but it does have a significant story. And this was my mom and dad's song, or actually my dad's song to my mom. And I have a really weird, like, upbringing kind of story. Maybe I'll tell you one day. But this is Wind Beneath My Wings by Bette Midler. Just think about that. He loved him some Bette Midler. All right. I appreciate you guys being here. If you enjoyed this reading, hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you again next week.